go, 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 get it. Lightweight, you got this. You know, you might get an extra rush that you wouldn't get if that person wasn't there. Guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over why I believe that men who are on a self-improvement journey need other men around them that are on self-improvement as well. And not just having other men around them, but other close men, close friends around you that are doing the same thing, okay? So starting from the top, it is going to be keeping each other accountable. I think this one is probably the most obvious, but it is the most important as well. You know, when you tell your friend that you are going to stop a bad habit, you are going to stop eating junk food, you're going to stop smoking weed, you're going to stop drinking alcohol, you're going to start going to the gym, you're going to stop, you know, doing your thing, you're going to stop watching bad content, you're going to stop wasting your time on social media, your friend is going to ask you how those things are going, you know, and you have to be honest with your friend. You have to be honest with that person. And the reason is your friend is also on self-improvement, and so your friend wants to see you do better. This isn't just a random person who is, you know, participating in some small talk, who is doing these bad habits and they don't care. Hopefully this friend, because he is on self-improvement and he is trying to become better, he's doing these things as well, and he's staying accountable to himself. He's staying accountable to you. You're staying accountable to him and to yourself. And so it gives you somebody that you don't want to let down, because that person is doing the same thing as you're doing, and you guys are doing these things together. You don't want to let them down, you know, especially if you guys decide that you guys are going to do something at the same time. For example, when I started doing the ice bath, you know, instantly Jacob said, "Hey, I'm going to do this too." And so every day when we woke up, the first thing we did was we got in the ice bath. And every time I didn't want to do it, I knew, like, hey man, like, what am I going to do? Let myself down and let Jacob down? Like, what am I going to do? Like, talk to him later on today and say, hey, yeah, man, like, I didn't get in the ice bath this morning. Sorry. Like, you know, I was too scared or nervous, or I just didn't want to. I didn't have the discipline to do it. That wasn't going to happen, you know, and I probably would have stuck to it by myself for the 30 days anyway. But knowing that he was doing it as well, it really did give me a lot more accountability and someone else that I couldn't let down, you know, because I knew that he was participating in this with me, you know. Also, you guys are competing when you guys are doing these things. You know, it's pretty cool. I'm going to keep tying it back to the ice bath with Jacob. You know, it's really cool when Jacob and I were doing the ice bath, we would do these really cold ice baths. You know, you guys saw the 34 degrees, 36, you know, the ones with the ice is still sitting in there. Those ones were really, really brutally cold. And, you know, when we were here doing them together, we would tell, like, one of us would kind of just like randomly come up with a time, like, we're going to do 4 minutes. And then it's like, now we have to do 4 minutes, you know? And you guys are like subtly competing with each other because, you know, if I get in and I go 4 minutes and I stick through the whole thing, Jacob can't get in the water and then, you know, bail out at 3 minutes because he let me beat him. And then also he let me down. So there's some of like the friendly competition and a little bit of the accountability and not letting that other person down who's kind of in this war with you, you know, in this challenge with you, you know. But at the same time, guys, when you are competing, you know, sometimes one person is going to outdo the other one in certain categories. And when you do that, you really have to take a step back and not let yourself be bitter or be jealous or be upset at the other person or towards the other person because that person accomplished something before you did or is better at something than you are. You know, if anything, you use that person as a way to learn how to become better at that thing. If somebody is better at with their discipline than you are, and you know they didn't give in to certain temptations that you did, you know, ask them like, hey, like, what are you doing to prevent yourself from giving into those temptations? How are you staying more disciplined? You know, if that person is more financially responsible than you are, you know, don't get upset that the person has more money saved. Just ask them how they're doing that. You know, ask them what tips they would have for you to do those things, you know, and that comes back to being honest with that person. The more honest and more open you are, and more, you know, unfortunately, how more vulnerable you are to that person, the more you really can grow. Because when that person knows a lot about you and they know, the things that are really eating you up on the inside, they're going to have a different perspective on it than you are, because they might have already gone through that thing, or, maybe it's not really even a challenge for them because of the way they're viewing it, but you're viewing it differently and you're keeping it bundled up. And it's this big giant hurdle for you, but for them, it's kind of something that's simple. And so, being open and being honest with your accountability partner and your best friend and your brothers who are on this journey of self-improvement with you is extremely important. Let's see, because you guys are on this together, you guys are going to motivate each other, and you guys are really going to push each other to go the extra mile, and it's a lot easier when you have that person that's sitting there telling you, like, go, we're going to run, we're going to do 5 miles. And when you guys are running, one person's getting a little bit tired and the other person's not really getting that tired, or doesn't seem like they're getting tired. They might be actually really fucking tired, but they're just pushing themselves, and that makes you push yourself. And somehow you get a little extra wind or a second wind because you see them pushing themselves. It's like when you're in the gym, when there's 2 people in the gym and you guys are listening to music and you're feeding off of each other's energy, a lot of times you're able to lift heavier. If you're in there doing deadlifts, doing bench press, doing back squat, doing, whatever it is, heavy rows, you guys are able to lift a little bit more because you're in there like subtly competing and motivating each other to get that extra number. Especially when one person could be sitting there like, if you're doing bench press and one person's sitting there yelling like, go, get it, lightweight, you got this. You might get an extra rush that you wouldn't get if that person wasn't there, and these things are powerful, man. The encouragement of brothers is something that definitely should not be overlooked. If you have somebody in your life, that is trying to improve like you are as well, take advantage of that. Be open with them. Be vulnerable with them, tell them the truth about why you're doing the things you're doing. And it's going to help you for sure. I promise you. The more that, Jacob and I, we pursue this self-improvement and becoming more masculine together, the easier it is for both of us to improve and to especially see the issues that we have, because we know each other so well. And when you open up and you tell each other, the real reasons why you are trying to do certain things, it makes you feel not so alone, because they probably either feel the same way or have felt the same way in the past. And that really helps you out quite a bit. So I extremely encourage you. I encourage you extremely, to really try to find that, harness that relationship with your friend if you guys are both trying to do some self-improvement stuff. But the downside to that is sometimes you'll have a friend that falls off. And if your friend falls off of self-improvement in one way or another, you can't let yourself fall off also just because they did, even if it's like a temporary thing. You guys could be going really good for 6 months. You guys are, going to the gym all the time, eating healthy. You guys are seeing progress. You guys are talking about it all the time. And then, your buddy gets a new job, or he gets a girlfriend, or he gets sick, and it sets him back for a little bit. And then he stops going to the gym, and maybe it's been a month, and he hasn't gone, and he's kind of like, he's losing a little bit of that momentum. You need to be self-motivating enough to push through that and to do it on your own as well. And then the upside to that is, once your buddy maybe comes out of that little slump that he's in, he's going to see you still at it, and that's going to motivate him. That's going to get him going again, or at least hopefully will. And but if you weren't able to motivate yourself by yourself, then none of that would happen. You guys would both kind of fall off. Just like you guys were both building each other up, you're going to kind of be building each other down, because one person's going to settle a little bit and the next person's going to settle a little bit, and it's going to be like, hey man, you want to come over and we're going to eat some junk food and watch a game and drink some beers, we're going to get messed up, whatever. And that's not something that you guys typically would be doing when you're on your self-improvement journey. You are now, and you're allowing yourself to go backwards. So like I said, you got to be motivated by yourself enough to push yourself individually, But then when you guys are around each other, you got to be there to be accountable and push each other together. And so if you got a best friend and you are trying to pursue self-improvement, I highly recommend trying to get them into it as well. Or if you have a buddy who's into self-improvement and you're seeing this now, kind of like, slowly getting your way into it, man, go around that guy, be honest about why you guys are trying to do these things, and, be open, be honest, be vulnerable, go out there, motivate each other, and push each other to be the best you can. Like I said, the bond between two brothers who are really pushing each other is extremely powerful, guys. There's a reason why, like, all these soldiers and warriors would go to battle in the past, and it was all men, and they would do ridiculously challenging things when it was just a big group of guys all together, because they were all accountable to each other. None of them could turn their back on each other because that just wasn't the way that they were bred. So again, if you guys got a friend and you guys are doing this kind of thing, don't give up on it. Push yourselves. And if you got a friend and I missed something in here and there's another topic that I did not touch on, please leave a message down below, drop a comment, and let me know some additional things and additional benefits, pros, cons, to having a buddy in self-improvement, and why it's so important for men to be around other men who are trying to improve themselves. All right, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.